It was launched at MAC 2014, the Tornos Swiss ST26 Sliding head lathe. We've come here today to Tornos' head office in Colville to take a more detailed look at this machine tool. So David, what makes the ST26 different?
The ST26 is a development on from our Gamma machine, a Gamma 20 machine. With the ST26 we have two independent platens that work at the guide bush or at the counter spindle. So it enables us to be able to do simultaneous roughing and finishing of turning operations and also simultaneous milling, cross-drilling operations.
Simultaneous, so you could have a component in the main spindle and you could use two tools. Let's say you had a bigger bar diameter and you wanted to reduce material quickly, you could use this machine for that.
Exactly, yeah. We can bring in two tools to work at the guide bush simultaneously for roughing, finishing, and as I say, for simultaneous milling, cross-drilling.
And the spindles, tell me about those. You've got two spindles on this machine?
Yep, the two spindles are identical. They're integrated motor spindles with 11 kilowatt power. They're a very rapid acceleration deceleration on the spindles. 0 to 10,000 is about 0.9 of a second, so very quick. As I say, very powerful, very strong spindles.
And the bar capacity?
Bar capacity is an inch, 25.4.
So it fits nicely in between the 20 and the 32 mil. Normally sliding head lathes, you've got a 20 mil and a 32, but this sits right in between those.
Exactly. What we've again tried to do with the ST26 is to look at the normal break of the machines and bring a machine to the market that enables us to do 20 or 22 millimetre bar diameter without any bar prep.
Okay, and we've also, what about guide bushes? Do you need to have a guide bush on this machine?
No, again with the ST26 we've introduced the bushless running option as well, or feature as well. So on all of the machines it's a standard function that you can remove the guide bush and run without guide bush for those smaller parts, shorter parts.
And for the benefit of our viewers, what would that give them as an engineer?
It gives you savings on tooling. Obviously you're not buying guide bushes that you would have to buy for a conventional sliding headstock setup, but equally if you're producing from some exotic materials, expensive materials, it will also reduce your bar waste, so you're minimising the costs to the parts as well.
And is there any compromise with not having a guide bush? Any effect on accuracy?
No, there's no issues with the accuracy. The restriction you have is the same that you would apply to a standard fixed headstock machine, which is a bar diameter to length ratio. So we normally say about 2.5 times bar diameter for your maximum part length.
So what about the access to the machine and the footprint of the machine?
Well, the footprint of the machine is quite a compact unit and would sit into a conventional sliding headstock space. As far as access into the tooling area, we have access from both sides, and we have a control that will pivot round to both sides as well, so we can have access to control for setting main and counter operations. So
an engineer could literally set this machine from either side?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That's the way it's been designed, yeah.
That's a really neat feature. I've not seen that on any other machine tool.
We've done it before in the past on some of our other products, but it's not something that's a common feature on the sliding headstock range, yeah.
So if you were to summarise the ST26 and where it sits in the market, what sort of engineer or what would you be machining or manufacturing to get a benefit from this type of machine and technology?
This is really aimed at the sort of medium to complex components. So moving up from, as I say, from our previous model, the Gamma, it pitches quite nicely in between that kind of product and an Evo Deco machine, which is a more complex product.
So this machine, how many tools has it got, and what about driven tools?
Well, the machine has capability of up to 36 tool positions. We've got 17 of those that can be driven across the two platens for main working and counter operations working. And that comprises of standard conventional drilling, milling attachments, thread whirling, polygon turning, that type of thing.
And coolants, you've got a high pressure coolant on this machine?
Yeah, as standard the machine comes with 20 bar high pressure with 5 programmable outlets, including a coolant wash through the counter spindle.
We hear in the marketplace a lot about the differences between using coolants and neat cutting oils. What's your opinion on that?
Neat cutting oils is traditionally is what is used on sliding headstock products across the range of machines. Equally, we can now start to use more water-based coolants, emulsions, soluble cutting fluids as well. So it's it's a product that's adaptable to the customer's needs.
And with a production machine, you're producing lots of swarf. What about removal of swarf, getting the swarf out of the machine? How does this model sit with that?
Well, again, we've tried to incorporate a good swarf clearance area into the base of the machine, like we do on all of our machines, so that if the customer doesn't want a swarf conveyor facility, then they have a big area inside the machine to store the swarf. But equally, you can have a swarf conveyor installed for automatic removal of the swarf.
Okay, so we've got a machine that sits between 20mm bar capacity and 32mm bar capacity. We've spoke about the benefits and the features of having the simultaneous machining, the high-powered spindles. Does this come at a price? Where does it sit in terms of money?
Well, if you look at the machine and its capabilities, we're really sort of about half the price of a conventional machine from other suppliers for the same capability. So it's a good value machine.
Great. David, thanks for your time.
Thank you.